years in the making, what began as part of a religious festival honoring the Greek god Zeus in the rural Greek town of Olympia has today become the greatest show of sporting excellence on Earth. The inception date in 776 BC became the basis for the Greeks' earliest calendar, where time was marked in 4-year increments called Olympiads. What could it be? Why, it's the Olympic Games, of course. Competition fosters excellence, or so thought the ancient Greeks. In addition to sporting events, contests were held for music, singing, and poetry. You can read about them all yourself in classical literary works like Homer's Iliad and Virgil's Aeneid. Even mythical heroes appreciate a good contest every now and then, wouldn't you say? For the first 13 games, the ancient Greek Olympics featured just one event, the 200-yard dash. But over time, new, exciting contests like boxing, chariot and mule racing, and even a foot race where the competitors wore a full suit of armor enticed many hopeful champions into the Olympic Stadium. The combined running, jumping, wrestling, javelin throwing, and hurling the discus event known as the pentathlon inspired world-class competition. And the pankration, a no-holds-barred fight where only biting and eye gouging were prohibited, ensured the toughest men were victorious. And victorious they were. Nobody tops the local baker Coroebus, who in 776 BC became the very first Olympic champion. And we'll never forget Orsippus of Megara, the 720 BC Olympic victor who tore away his loincloth so he could race unimpeded, inaugurating the ancient Greek tradition of competing in the nude. Now there's a winning streak, if ever we've seen one. But all good things must end. In 391 AD, the Christian Roman Emperor Theodosius banned pagan practices, so the world soon bid a fond farewell to the Olympic Games. But just like those early pankration athletes, you can't keep a good one down. And 1,500 years later, in 1896, the modern Olympic Games kicked off in Athens, Greece. Today, the Summer and Winter Olympics bring international world-class athletes together by the thousands, uniting fans by the billions for the world's foremost sporting competition. Citius, Altius, Fortius, 3 cheers for the Olympics.
The evolution of the modern Olympics. The first modern Olympics were held in 1896 in Athens, with only 13 countries participating. Since then, the event has grown significantly. And today, thousands of athletes from around the world compete in the Olympics. The evolution.
And it's always been this way. Keep them busy with cheap entertainment, and they will forget about the freedom they lost. And it's not just about sports, it's what you're reading this on. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, Lord willing that they all continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwatiyam, believers of this faith and this truth, Lord willing that they continue to pursue in their lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. The title of this lesson is straight to the point. History merely is repeating itself. Not only in this new modern captivity under Esau, it's not only that they have Israelites under subjection, all you other nations are under them too. Just like in all history, when a certain nation or a kingdom was ruling, it had subjects. Most cases, because there's so many nations on the earth, depending on how far their power stretched or whoever they conquered, that's who they ruled over. You know, and certain, even in history, certain places that Rome and the Greeks didn't conquer, or the Babylonians, but it's many nations that they did conquer, and those nations that they conquered were subject unto them. Just the difference between the Israelites is that we were subject to the nations because we rebelled and forsaken, abandoned Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in the ways that he put in front of us. So truly, this is just, captivity. And what you see on the screen is the modern day Colosseum stadium in the ancient world, in the Greek, and even the Rome that, took after the Greek sport is just the same thing over again. And why would they bring back the same thing of old? Because your oppressors study their history, let alone it's a money thing. And not even only just a money, it's to help distract you. And, in Rome, when you watch the TV show Spartacus, I think another TV show called Rome, it's probably a few more. They use these things to handle certain government things or Senate situations. The more that y'all distracted with entertainment and drinking, the more that they can corrupt the system and tax you. When you look at Luke, the second chapter, Caesar Augustus was taxing the lands that he conquered, especially the Israelites. And same system is going on now. If America's having war with these other nations over this and over that, why would the other nations still be doing the Olympics? Because it's a system that we're in. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9 and 10 in the NLT. History merely repeats itself. It has all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new. Sometimes people say, here is something new, but actually it is old. Nothing is ever truly new. Nothing is ever truly new. It's just certain things in the captivity might seem new. It's just upgraded captivity because the time that we're in now, technology is the number one thing popular on the earth. And it's not just only in America, it's in multiple countries and places, four corners of the earth, right? Let me just get this one more. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 5 in the NLT. It says, what is happening now has happened before, and what will happen in the future has happened before, because God makes the same things happen over and over again. So we already know from the things that happened in the past is happening in this present moment. Of course, wars with other countries and nations, but sports, entertainment, it was just a different level than what it was back then. And what is happening in the future has happened before, which when we go to Jeremiah 28 and 8, the prophets are prophesying against countries, nations, people of tongue. We're prophesying on multiple things on the side. And it's the same thing that happened in our past life, right? Kingdoms must fall. Kingdoms must fall and other kingdoms must rise, right? And the kingdom that is going to be established and rise after it is the kingdom of Hamashiach Yahushai, and his government, the elect that Yahweh has picked, to rule under Hamashiach Yahushai, right? So Lord willing, this is edifying, and it was straight to the point where you're able to sit back and relax, not really relax, but sit back and enjoy the show. Like with the little Sanders situation of getting drafted. Truly, when you really understand that we're in the same system, it just looks more cooler. You got Jake getting paid multi-millions of dollars to be an athlete slave. To be a gladiator, you were giving wine and women. Now you're giving money where you could buy your own wine, and women are going to flock because you have some type of status. When we go years back, Jake, you didn't have no way of being able to make that type of money or to be in the limelight and date any race that you want, right? Because the way the system was. But Esau looked at another picture, and it was all on the Lord, because the Lord is sifting us out without us even knowing. For the ones that do know, they do know. But men and women are getting sifted out because you're blind. You're in a delusion state. So the Lord put this on Esau to create these certain revenues for Jake to make some type of income money to feel like they doing something or they somebody in society. But truly, it is all a scam to set us up for the okie doke, But again, Lord willing, this was an eye opener. And regardless, whatever you're watching, UFC, boxing, car racing, track and field, baseball, so on and so on. Just know that's just the same spirit as the Greeks and the Romans. We're just in Greek and Rome sports. So all praises again to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and the Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for allowing us to get this eye opener. Again, double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. In the mighty shalom to the hopeful elect, singing the same song. Lord willing that you continue to pursue your lot. And shalom to the Akwatiyam, Abad Abad. Shalom.